What's going on, guys? I'm trying something new today. So I've been doing an experiment to see if reducing blue light exposure, especially late in the day, improves circadian rhythm and deepens my restful sleep. So what that means is, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in order to shoot videos in my office or usually in a sauna and have them come out to where you can see everything and it's not super shadowy, you've got to have photography lights or video lights. And those are like pretty much straight blue light and they're not that good for you. And I don't like to sauna early in the morning. I like to sauna late in the day. So we're gonna use natural light for the videos and try to do a walking treadmill. Hopefully it's not super loud. I don't know how this is gonna come out, but I'm gonna answer some of your questions right now. So this is for Jan. She asks yesterday, she's asking about, I think this is, it's on a Clearlight versus Sunlighten sauna question, but she's saying, Matt, which one were you in that was low EMF but not getting hot enough? That was a JNH Lifestyles, I believe. I don't know for sure exactly which one you're referencing, but it was JNH Lifestyles that was just didn't work good enough. You can go back and see the video, and I've got heat lamp bulbs in front of the glass to try to add some more temperature in there. It just wasn't good. The build quality of that sauna is awful too, by the way. It's basically really thin. Feels like cardboard made out of scrap wood. The furring strips that hold the, well, just go look at my review. It's got detailed pictures in there. So that's that. Still not sure whether to buy a Sunlighten Signature or Radiant Health. I like that Sunlighten is in the USA, and I don't like that Radiant Health uses hemlock, from which I've heard is the cheapest wood, usually used in China-made ones. Conundrum for sure. Any opinion? Sure. Lots of opinions. First and foremost, it depends on what you're looking for. Depends on what's important to you. I don't know what you mean by you like that Sunlighten is in the USA. Both Sunlighten and Radiant Health have offices in the USA. However, neither company's sauna is made in the USA. Both of them are from overseas. I could understand you having a preference on the hemlock wood. However, I've used a lot of hemlock saunas. I've got the Radiant in the other room. I've also got another hemlock sauna in the other sauna room because we've got so many saunas here now that it's taking up too much space. I've got to sell some of them to make room for new ones. Let's see. In my opinion, the wood is not a selling point. So unless you're chemically sensitive or you just prefer the smell of something, the type of lumber in a sauna has never contributed to my sauna experience. So I have to be honest with you, I don't like that sauna companies use the type of wood or that kind of stuff as a major selling point. To me, dissuading someone from one sauna to another based on the lumber isn't really like the most important criteria. Again, like I said, if you're chemically sensitive, then usually chemically sensitive people stay away from cedar or any other lumbers that can emit an oil. There's pros and cons to pretty much everything. Everyone that you talk to is going to have an opinion. It's just my opinion that after using 10 or 15 different saunas, the wood is really not that big of a deal. Most all of them use clean hypoallergenic wood. There are some of them that I prefer the smell of more so than others. But for me personally, generally my smell preference is whichever one has the least amount of smell. I don't like it when I go into a sauna or I go into a room where the sauna is located and the whole freaking place, smells really, really strong of like a basswood or, cedar doesn't bother me as much, but you get the idea. Like, I don't want it to be overwhelmingly fragrant. I like just enough of the wood smell for me personally. But that's my preference. Heard the cheapest wood. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different types of woods that are used in the cheapest woods from China or from saunas that are made in China, right? It has to do with the quality of the sourcing, the quality control of the milling. If you were to look at something like a JNH Lifestyles, you know how there's grooves. I call it millwork because that's what it is. The tooling that creates the grooves on the panels, on the walls. Poor millwork or poor wood quality will have chatter, like the bit will actually have chatter. Most people would be shocked that I know about this, and CNC machines and cabinetry and all that kind of stuff. From a past life, I do have experience building things like this. So this is a pet peeve of mine when, when a CNC machine or any type of millwork machine has chatter in the bit, it creates a jagged edge, or it'll also create splintering or hair strings. And so if you look at some of my reviews, you will see like little stringy pieces of hair hanging from the ceiling in a JNH lifestyle sauna. That is from poor quality wood, poor quality sourcing, and most importantly, poor quality millwork. And so those types of things are far more important to me, because they're not smooth, number one. So if you row up against them, you're not generally gonna get a splinter, but if you're gonna pay thousands of dollars for something, right? It should at least be well sanded, well finished. They should do a good job with the millwork and all that kind of stuff. So those would be pet peeves of mine. That's my opinion on what you're asking about. This is weird to be walking on a treadmill and talking. I start to feel myself, my breathing is different. The tempo and the pace at which I answer questions is way different. So bear with me. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm just gonna try it today, just because this is the only place that we have natural light to do videos without camera lights for my little experiment on sleep. And my opinion, well, I think all the saunas that you're asking about are good, even the Sunlighten Signature. You don't see Sunlighten Signature on the certified sauna list because, as a general rule, before 2019, they don't mitigate electric fields almost at all. I have heard that they're changing their saunas for 2019, so I don't want to speak out of turn for a company that I don't really represent. But until then, my advice would be to go with, well, my advice is out there. You can tell what my opinion would be or what my choice would be based on what I've purchased and what I have in the other room. But by no means does that mean Sunlighten's a bad company. I hate it when people, just straight up bash other companies when they make quality products. It's just not in alignment. I released another video today that was shot, I didn't shoot it today, it was shot on a different day, about Sunlighten saunas for another lady that was confused between a Sunlighten Impulse and a Sunlighten Signature and EMF levels. And it kind of goes along with your other blog comment that I'm going to put in here. And for everybody else that hasn't seen it, just so you know what we're talking about, Jan says, "Hi Matt, I asked about electric fields and they said, quote, it doesn't matter, quote, it's nothing to worry about. I also asked about RF and they said there's no radio frequency in there. I also asked about dirty electricity and they said that has nothing to do with saunas. I'm so confused." Okay, so this was my response. This is precisely why you don't see Sunlighten on the certified saunas list. It's going to come down to opinion that electric fields don't matter. However, high electric fields generate high body voltage. You can talk to functional medicine doctors, you can talk to building biologists, you can talk to all kinds of people, and they will have varying opinions on, does body voltage matter? Do electric fields matter? Are electric fields as harmful as magnetic fields? And blah, 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 till we're blue in the face. My deal is, I found saunas that don't have any, so why aren't we using them? I don't want to sit here and debate whether or not it's as harmful as magnetic fields or whatever, what the safety threshold is. There are saunas that are the exact same price, that don't have any electric fields, they don't have any kind of EMF like the other ones do, that are the same price, right? And this is what's killing me, is that people want to debate about this stuff, but it's usually to further their agenda, to sway you one way or another. Okay, fine, I get it. But if there's no cost savings, build quality is the same, all things being equal, great warranty, great companies, no matter which way you slice it, why wouldn't we pick something that doesn't have high electric fields and high body voltage? I think it matters, otherwise I wouldn't do all the work that I do to source this stuff for myself or recommend it to other people. But you're gonna have, Joe Schmo and Mary and whoever have different opinions about what matters. What it's gonna come down to is, what's important to you. If a super low EMF sauna is really important to you, I think electric fields are gonna matter for you. If you don't care about that, then you might as well buy something that isn't low EMF, by design, because it's just not gonna hit your most important criteria for purchasing a sauna. You might as well get something that you like the look of, or that's cheap, the cheapest thing you could possibly find, or whatever. The part about dirty electricity is true. The origination of dirty electricity from your home's wiring or from the grid that you're hooked up to has nothing to do with saunas. However, especially in carbon saunas, you've got power coming in through your house circuitry, through the outlet, through the power cable, into the power supply that's distributed out through the wiring in the walls of the sauna and that's passing over these heaters, specifically in carbon panel saunas because the spread is a lot wider, right? And so while dirty electricity doesn't matter or doesn't have anything to do with saunas, it does matter because it's coming into close proximity with you. So that's a whole different animal than typical EMF stuff. But it is, it is something to think about as an aside, but it has nothing to do with purchasing the sauna, just for clarity. So I know you said that you were really confused, so I'm gonna stop rambling on. Hopefully that helps you in some way. I don't know if I'm just babbling because I'm on the treadmill or if any of this information is actually useful. You guys will have to tell me in the comments, do you like treadmill videos? Is this annoying? How loud is the actual thingamajigger? Can you hear it on the microphone? Is this too weird? Let me know what you think. Have a great day.